Hello and welcome to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. So we've been revealed with the last card that's going to be introduced in Burst of Destiny. This is Meutering. It's a level 4 Earth Attribute Psyburst effect monster with 1400 attack and 1100 defense. You can only use the first effect with this card's name only once per turn. 1. If a field spell is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if face-up cards are in both players' field zones, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. 2. Negate the effects of any face-up card in your opponent's field zone during your turn. Also negate the effects of any face-up card in your field zone during your opponent's turn. The main purpose of this card is, firstly, it just gets to special summon itself if you've got a field spell activated. You also get the bonus if it happens to be both field zones are played, both yours and your opponent's, that it does have the protection for the turn from being destroyed in battle or card effects. That does give you the potential protection if your opponent is trying to go in all with their attacks, or even at least minimize the amount of damage you would, because each time your opponent is attacking into this and it's got 1400 attack, that means you're taking that much less damage. The secondary ability comes if your opponent's got their field spell activated and it's during your turn. You're able to shut their field spell down. This is effective if they've got anything that actually is very restrictive, anything that's limiting what you can do. For example, I would argue things such as Zombie World are a massive issue if you've got a graveyard which relies on any other type other than zombie, because it classifies all cards in either player's graveyards in terms of monsters as zombie types, making it very difficult for certain decks to play around. So actually that can be relevant for this. It does also provide your opponent with this advantage as well, because during their turn, if you've got a field zone that happens to suppress what your opponent is doing, they can basically use this card against you, unless you happen to tribute this, use some sort of effect, or use this as a form of cost during your opponent's turn. It's interesting to see it's basically designed to interrupt field spells, but I don't think it's good enough. I think there needs to be another several versions of this card that are a little bit more powerful to actually make any type of negating of field zones as powerful as they can be. It might be better at the moment just to stick to spell and trap card destruction effects, such as with Mystical Space Typhoon, because at least with that you can use that over a number of different cards, whereas this is purely focused on field spell cards, and you've got too many niches you have to contend with already. What do you guys think of this card? Do you like that Konami is looking at negating field spells? Do you think actually they need to be putting more investment into these types of effects? Or do you think, as someone who relies heavily on their field spells, that actually they need to start forgetting about these cards because you just don't want the hassle of having to compete against them? Whatever you think, leave those comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Yu-Gi-Oh content.